Hello people, the new cache has been released and the A site has undergone some significant changes. Some of the most biggest changes is the addition of the Kenny box. Yes, I'm gonna call it the Kenny box because my tweet got really popular on the internet. And the other change is that the CT playing from this truck can now look into the bomb site. So that implies a certain few things. First of all, the T's can't plant the bomb in this area. No, they're now visible and they can be punished by the guy who's watching on truck. So they're gonna have to plant in this corner. Well, that's still fine. The other significant change is, earlier in the old cache, the terrorists used to just come into the bomb site. They would usually smoke this off by this corner over here. This one still works though. You can just bounce it off the corner. This smoke is still viable. And then somehow you can Molotov quad and, I don't know, throw some flashes over the top or whatsoever. And then somehow, even if the T's manage to take a fight and get to this area, they will have to fight the CT guy. Now, from the perspective of the CT, he can still hold from quad, he can still hold from this angle and over here as well. What happens is, if this guy over here starts getting overwhelmed, earlier he had no option. He had to either just stay and fight and accept his death, or the only other option he had was to just pray to God and hope that the teammates can rotate quickly enough and back him up over here. Now, if his teammates are not here to back him up, and if he feels that if he stays over here he's gonna die, he has an option. He can now fall back towards the Kenny box. We're gonna see this meta change and we're gonna see a lot of people sometimes just fall back and take position behind the Kenny box if they feel threatened in the bomb site itself, if they can't hold on from this area. Because from a T's perspective, if a terrorist just gets control of this area, he's gonna try and plant the bomb in the first place. It's never gonna be the case that a terrorist comes all the way over here and tries to spam him, or like he tries to fight him over here. No terrorist is gonna venture this further into the bomb site. He could hold this angle, watching for the truck, but nobody's gonna go this far and challenge the CT hiding over here. So this meta change obviously implies a lot of bad news for the terrorists. So they need a new smoke. What is this new smoke? We're gonna smoke this back of the site over here. Let's see how to actually do it. To throw this smoke, come in front of the truck in front of T-spawn. Line yourself up with the shadow on the ground. You can even use these two patches of moss to line yourself up. Then look up towards the chimney and find the first and the second lamppost. Your crosshair will be placed on the second lamppost in line with the chimney. Now you will have to run and do a jumping throw. So when you run, let go when your crosshair reaches the middle of this first lamppost and this chimney. The smoke will travel, bounce on the skybox over here, and land perfectly in the middle of this site. Now, while I took my sweet time to figure out that smoke, someone smarter than me figured out an easier way to do it. You climb up on this ledge, get into this corner over here, turn around and find the second bar from the top. That's the first one, that's the second. Move a little to the left on the outside and then do a simple throw. This smoke will land deeper into the bomb site, and for anyone who's playing on Kenny box, he'll find it harder because the smoke is higher and he's gonna have to jump, and even then he won't be able to see much. Obviously, this smoke also protects you from the person who's playing on truck. But even though this smoke is still there, even though you think it gives you a little blanket of security, be careful, because the guy on Kenny, he can still throw some random underhand flashbang. He can still jump up onto this box and ruin your day. He can catch you by surprise, and this smoke will not be able to protect you. So you need to be careful about adventurous and ballsy plays like these. Personally, I've always found it very difficult to enter the A site from the squeaky door. So now here's a pop flash that's gonna make your life much simpler. Walk into this corner, find the second line, that's the first, that's the second, move your crosshair up until it meets the edge of the box, and then simply throw the flash and quickly open the door. This is very easy. It will blind anyone playing in this angle as long as you open the door and time it correctly. The best part about this flash is that it does not block your movement, so you're gonna have an easy time getting out and getting some nice kills. Now, a little something for the CT side. In the ESL preview of this map, you must have seen that you can climb up on top of this truck. You can aim generally a little above this line over there and then do a simple running throw. Now, this will burn quad, but then the risky thing about this is no terrorist is just gonna simply let you stand up there and peacefully throw that Molotov. They will kill you if you climb up on top of that truck. So, here's a safer way to do it. You can jump up into this corner, look on the crane, and then throw this Molotov a second after you land till your crosshair somewhere reaches this area. Easy and safe. This new Molotov from car to quad is now possible because the height of this wall is much lower, but this opens up many more possibilities. You can jump up on top of quad, get on top of this lamppost, and move to the edge. From here, if you just sneakily move a little bit to the right, you can see the edge of car and you can get a free kill. Now, this is going to be a really tight angle, so I don't expect the CTs who are trying to retake to actually check this. And even if they do check, it's still a much higher chance that you are going to get the kill on them first before they actually get to do anything to you. You can get one free kill, just be careful not to fall off the edge because it's very easy to do so. Also, now that the height of the wall is lower, return fire from quad is possible. Get in this corner, take your nade, look towards this triangle, and then move forward and throw it. This is gonna explode right in the faces of anyone who's coming to its truck. Moving on to mid, your standard Z smoke still works. 1, 2, 3. Simply look up to the cross, get in line with the third white strip, jump and throw. This one is still the same, so it works all the time. The new question is, how do you deal with this window? To throw a Molotov towards the mid window, get in towards this corner near the truck. Aim at this corner on the woodworks. Run and do a jump throw as soon as you're about to get down from the sidewalk. You can throw smoke from the exact same place. But the only problem with the smokes is that they bounce. The Molotovs, on the other hand, detonate on impact and then they spread the fire. The smoke will bounce off the window and go back somewhere towards CT. To actually make the smoke stick over there, you're gonna need to throw it immediately after you've thrown the Molotov while it's still burning. How does this work? Let's say, for example, on the sniper nest on Mirage, the Ts usually try and throw smoke in towards the sniper nest. You might have seen some pros put down a Molotov over there, and that's because the Molotov prevents the smoke from actually bouncing to its full extent and covering every corner of the sniper nest. When there's a Molotov on the floor, the smoke doesn't bounce as accurately and it leaves a little gap for the CTs to peek through it. The similar situation applies over here. Molotovs stop the smokes from bouncing. So in order to actually smoke off the mid window, you need to throw a Molotov and then you need to somehow just run back, throw another smoke from the same spot, or you have to get a teammate to do it in a really quick succession. Either way, this thing is really difficult to pull off. So I think you should just be happy by Molotoving off that area. The Vents Molotov is much easier now. Get in towards this area, aim here, and then move your crosshair up until you reach in line with the roof. And then simply do a running throw. Even the sandbags Molotov is pretty easy. Line up as shown, and voila. The CTs usually find it very difficult to keep control of mid simply because it takes too much utility to do so. Now, the teammate who's hiding in B checkers can help his teammates out on mid by simply getting into this corner, placing his crosshair in this area, and then moving it up in the general direction till it reaches this corner right there. Doesn't have to be precise. Do a simple throw, and this will perfectly block off the entire entrance of mid. Interesting set of Molotovs that you can use from the Sunroom. As you can see, the developers at Valve have been kind enough to bless us with 2 nice spots already ready to be lined up. So, the first one, if you're going to throw it without breaking the window, and if you follow up once again after it's been broken, you will see this contrasting differences. The second one, when the window is broken, lands directly in this area. The first one though bounces off the window and drops directly below. So how do you throw that Molotov after the window is already broken? Get into this corner, find this brown line up to this, and then simply let it go. Now, it might be instinctive for some people to just come up here and aim at this black spot to throw smoke to its CT, but it's not that good anymore. This smoke actually leaves a pretty big gap on the other side, and this leaves you very vulnerable. So instead of this one, let's use something else. Go to the same spot and aim just a little bit to the right. Now, I use my crosshair to line it up, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure out something too once you get enough practice in. A little bit to the right side, and it bounces off this part and lands perfectly in the center, leaving no gaps whatsoever. Fun fact, you can't climb up here anymore. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, that was all from our side. Let us know if you actually found this video helpful. I'm pretty sure that many more smokes and many more creative utility usages for new cache will come up in the next few days. And if this map actually makes it to the professional pool, I'm pretty sure teams like Astralis and Liquid will come up with something amazing. So the meta will evolve over time. I'm just really excited to see where this goes. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and let us know what we could have done better in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.